All right, how are you guys doing? Today I'm going to talk to you about CPP disability, and I'm definitely not a CPP disability expert, but when I did my CPP and OAS video, a lot of people asked me how their CPP disability was going to be affected when they started taking CPP. So I'll talk about that at the end, but first I'll explain what CPP disability is and how it works to the best of my knowledge. I'm definitely not an expert, like I said. I know enough. I should probably get the government to pay me money to actually teach people, because I don't think anybody really knows how all of these government program works. And before I get started, a lot of people come into my office and they say, why the hell does an Oilers fan have a Brian Sotheby jersey? And I say, because other than Connor McDavid, Brian Sotheby was the greatest NHL player that ever lived. And if you haven't heard of him, that's because you don't know anything about the NHL. Brian Sotheby was the greatest fighter, goal scorer, and biggest pussy maybe I've ever met. Anyway, so let's talk about CPP disability. CPP disability is available to anybody that is under the age of 65 that has contributed to CPP in a reasonable manner and is now disabled, so much so that they are unable to actually get work. So basically the definitions here are: you have a mental or physical disability that regularly stops you from doing any type of substantially gainful work, and you have a disability that is long-term and of indefinite duration or is likely to result in death. So that means, obviously, if you have a disability that you got injured and you're going to be better in 2 months, and that's not what that's for. Now, there's two types of CPP disability payments. There's just the regular CPP disability program, which is for anybody under 65 that isn't receiving CPP. And then there's CPP post-retirement, which is for anybody between 60 and 65 that is receiving CPP already. So if you've been receiving CPP for 15 months, then you can get CPP disability. Or if you have already have CPP, you're getting it, and then you become disabled, then you can get the post-retirement benefit. At the age of 65, your CPP is just automatically, CPP disability is going to automatically turn into CPP. Now, your CPP is probably going to pay less than CPP disability, but at this point in time, now you can apply for old age security, plus you can apply for GIS, or the guaranteed income supplement, if you don't have a large enough income, which you likely won't if you're on CPP disability. There's also a children's benefit. So if you're on CPP disability, you can get a children's benefit if you have children under the age of 18 or between the ages of 18 and 25 that are going to university. Then you can get a children's benefit for up to $257.58 per month per child, but only up to 2 children. So if you have more than 2 kids, I guess those kids don't really matter. You're not going to get any money for those other kids. So if you're disabled, make sure you don't have more than 2 kids, I guess, because they're not going to get any benefit from the government. I have something written on my piece of paper here that says lots of rules. So when I was reading about this, that means that there was pages and pages of rules about the children's benefit. I didn't want to memorize them all and write them all down, but Ryan can put a link or something if you want to read about the children's benefit. So there's another note on the Service Canada website that says, if you are disabled, you want to get CPP disability, apply immediately. So that was nice of the government to let you know that it's going to take them forever to process your application. They don't know what the heck they're doing. So apply immediately so you can get your money as soon as humanly possible. Now, when people start asking me about CPP and these things, they generally ask, like, how much am I going to get? And I honestly have no idea. It's very hard to tell because all of these things are based on how much you and your employer put in over your working career. And it's based on like calculations that are pretty hard to find. And they generally like just keep them away, hidden in their vault of government secrets or whatever. So what I do know is that no matter what, you're going to get a basic amount of $510.85 per month, plus an amount that is based on how much you put into CPP and your employer over your working career. So right now, the average CPP disability beneficiary or somebody that's on the program is getting $1,031.55 per month, completely taxable income. You're not really going to pay tax if that's your only income. And the maximum amount you can get is $1,416.66 per month. For the CPP post-retirement benefit, you're only going to get the basic amount of $510.85 per month. You can also receive CPP disability if you're in Canada, the United States, or some other countries. You can get, a direct deposit into your bank account if you're in one of the countries on the specified list. I do not know all of the countries on this list, but basically any country that has a relationship with Canada that allows us to like share benefits programs. You can find that list somewhere, I'm sure. Some other benefits, if you're on CPP survivor's benefit, so you're a widow and you're on CPP disability, the maximum amount of money that you're going to be able to get is the same as the max of CPP disability, which is $1,413.66 per month. So basically what this is telling me is that if you're a widow and disabled and you're totally screwed, then what I would do is just stop being on those programs and apply for CERB and CRB or whatever, because you're going to get a huge raise for, just applying for these different programs that everybody is on right now. Now, if you have your own sort of disability plan, so you've bought into a private one or you have a group plan at work, you become disabled, a lot of times then that benefit is going to be reduced by what you're receiving from CPP disability. So that's just a nice, friendly way for the insurance companies to really pay their customers back so much for paying premiums for like their entire lives, is they're always wanting to give back to their customers. So they're really helpful with that. One thing I want to point out is that if you're self-employed, so let's say for me, for example, in like the past 5 years, just trying to like shuffle money around, doing all of these things, a lot of the times I barely pay myself a salary and take out some dividends or whatever at the end of the year. I'm not paying into CPP very much. So that means if I become disabled and can't work, then I'm not going to get a very good CPP disability benefit. Plus, I don't have a group plan because we didn't have the staff to be able to pay for a group plan. So in the case of me, I should be having my own private disability plan so that I can actually, have some sort of disability insurance in place just in case something happens to me and I can't work. So when you're a small business owner, it's definitely something to really think about, is to actually get some sort of private individual insurance in place for disability. So there's my plug for this video. Even though I absolutely hate selling disability insurance, it is very important, and especially in cases where you're not a member of a group plan, because there is that big hole in your financial plan. They put a note on there that CPP disability or like the federal government doesn't pay for medications or medical devices through the program, and to contact your provincial government, they generally have sources where you can get the money to pay for these medical devices or, extra things. And I remember one time back in the day, a bunch of homeless, disabled people asked Ralph Klein for some stuff, and he put them on a bus and was like, get out of here, go to BC, and they'll take care of you because we just don't want to take care of you over here. So I think those people are still in BC. Hopefully they're getting some good care over there. Lastly, I guess you can earn up to $6,100 per year if you're on CPP disability. So if you can do a little bit of work, you want to earn a little bit of extra income, because it says you can't really maintain gainful employment. That doesn't mean you can't work at all. So if you can work a little bit, then you are allowed to earn up to $6,100 and still receive CPP disability. Once again, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you learned something from the video. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. Please hit like and subscribe and comment if you'd like. We love to hear from you on the channel. We love to see you. Thank you very much for supporting us, and we'll see you soon.